Hello and welcome. We're going to talk about something really human today, something that a lot of people over 50 quietly struggle with, and that's loneliness. So let's just dive right into this and we'll take it slow and do it together.
Does that sound familiar at all? I mean, you can have a loving family, you could have friends, and still have this quiet ache inside. It's a feeling so many of us go through, but we just don't really talk about it. And that's exactly what we're going to gently unpack here.
Okay, so right off the bat, I think the most important thing is to kind of reframe how we look at this. Loneliness, it's not a weakness, it's not a flaw. Think of it more like a signal, like hunger or thirst. It's just your heart's way of saying, hey, I need some connection, or I could use some comfort, or maybe just it's time for a change.
All right, first up, let's get into why this feeling is just so common, especially as we get past 50. I promise you, it's not something you're facing all on your own.
Yeah, look at this. It really just maps out the natural rhythm of life, doesn't it? I mean, retirement comes along and completely changes our daily structure. Our kids, well, they grow up and build their own lives. Friends might move away, and then we have to face the really tough stuff, losing people we love. Each one of these things, one by one, can just gradually make our world feel a little bit quieter.
And that really drives home a key truth here. If you're feeling this way, you are absolutely not unusual. This is one of the most common, most shared experiences for people in this chapter of life. Even for folks who look like they've got it all together, Just knowing that, understanding that you're not alone in this feeling, that's the very first step.
Okay, so let's move on. We're going to dig a little deeper now into what loneliness really is, because honestly, it gets misunderstood a lot.
And this is such a crucial distinction. Loneliness isn't about how many people you know. It's not about having an empty address book. It's about feeling an empty connection. It's that gap, right, between the small talk you're having and the real conversations your heart is craving. It's all about the quality, the depth, not just having someone around. This really breaks it down perfectly. See, being alone, that can be a choice. It can be peaceful. You can recharge. We all need that solitude sometimes. But feeling lonely, that's totally different. That's an ache. It's that deep need for a meaningful connection, for someone you can share your inner world with. And it can hit you even when you're in a room full of people.
Sometimes loneliness doesn't show up with a big, dramatic announcement. It kind of whispers. It might just feel like having low energy all the time, or you find yourself just watching TV for hours and hours. Maybe you've lost interest in hobbies you used to absolutely love. Or maybe it's just that nagging little thought in the back of your mind that nobody really gets me. These are all super common, quiet signals.
All right, so now that we kind of get what it is, let's shift gears to the most important part, right? What can we actually do about it? This next bit is all about small, gentle steps to start feeling connected again. Look, this is not about some massive life overhaul, not at all. It's about starting small, like really small. Start with tiny human moments. A simple hello to a neighbor, a quick chat with the person at the checkout counter. Then try to create a simple routine for your day. It could be as simple as having a cup of tea by the window every morning. It just adds a little structure, a little warmth. And think about reconnecting with an old interest, something you used to love. And then, maybe, when you feel ready, you could look for a gentle community. A book club, a walking group, something where the only pressure is just to show up. Yeah, let's just pause on that for a second. Seriously, think about it. What did you love to do? Was it gardening, painting, playing an instrument? Maybe just getting lost in a good book? Going back to something familiar, it can fill those quiet spaces with such a sense of comfort and purpose. It's a really beautiful way to reconnect with yourself first before anything else.
So, those little steps, that's the foundation. Now let's talk about how to build on that foundation, how to start cultivating those deeper, more meaningful relationships that our hearts are really asking for.
So how does this actually happen? Well, it starts with just being open to those small conversations. Then the next step is sharing just a tiny piece of yourself, a thought, a memory, something that made you laugh. And here's the most important part. You have to let it grow slowly. It's not like when we were 20. Deep connections at this stage of life, they're more like a garden than a bonfire. They need slow, patient care. Trust doesn't happen overnight. It's earned in all those little, consistent moments.
And please, remember this. The goal here isn't to build a giant social circle. It's about quality, not quantity. The power of having just one good connection, one person you feel you can truly be yourself with, it's immense. It can literally change everything about how you feel day in and day out.
But let's be real.
What about those days when loneliness just hits you like a ton of bricks? What do you do then? So let's talk about some really practical ways to comfort yourself in those tough moments.
Okay, so when that feeling gets really heavy, one thing you can do is just write it all down. Give your heart a voice. No judgment, just let it all out on the page. Here's another interesting idea. Try talking to your future self, the you a year from now. Offer that version of you some kindness and encouragement. And please, never ever underestimate the power of simple sensory comfort. A soft blanket, a warm cup of tea, some music that calms you down. These things soothe our bodies, and when our bodies are soothed, our hearts often follow.
You know, for so many of us, loneliness is tangled up with grief. And this quote, it just captures that feeling so perfectly. It's all that love you still have for a partner or a friend or a parent, but it feels like it has nowhere to go. It's not a bad thing, it's a testament to just how much love was there and still is.
And healing from that kind of loneliness, it isn't about forgetting someone or just getting over it. It's about learning to carry that love in a softer way, a way that honors their memory, but doesn't let the pain of their absence isolate you. And that takes time. It's absolutely okay to take all the time you need. So if there's just one thing you take away from all of this, let it be this. Feelings are visitors. They are not residents. This feeling of loneliness, it might be here right now, but it is not who you are, and it is not forever. You're simply in a moment. And just like a cloud passing in front of the sun, this moment will shift. Just remember those small steps, those gentle connections. They really are the path back to the warmth. And they can, slowly and gently, fill your life with meaning all over again.